Putin orders massive troop draft. 160,000 Russians called up. NATO on alert. Is this a sign of a long war? Welcome to Prepper's News. News and current events from a prepper's perspective. I use a computer-generated voice because my own is hard to understand due to an injury. Today, we're looking at a major move from Russia. Vladimir Putin has just announced the largest military call-up in years. With 160,000 new conscripts being drafted, this could be a sign that Russia is preparing for a longer and possibly wider conflict. Russia's spring draft is now underway, and it's a big one. The Kremlin has ordered 160,000 men to be conscripted into the military, its largest regular call-up in several years. This isn't part of a full mobilization like we saw in 2022. It's part of the annual draft cycle, but the timing and the scale have raised eyebrows. Russian officials claim these conscripts will not be sent to the front lines in Ukraine. Instead, they'll be used for training and support roles. However, by bringing in new conscripts to handle basic duties, Russia frees up more experienced troops to fight. This move strengthens Russia's long-term position in the war and signals that they're not planning for a quick end. This draft adds to signs that Russia is preparing for a long, grinding war in Ukraine. While Ukraine is struggling to secure more weapons and ammunition from the West, Russia is quietly reinforcing its ranks. These new conscripts may not be heading straight to the front, but their presence allows seasoned contract soldiers to rotate back into combat zones. That keeps pressure on Ukraine's defenses without burning through Russia's trained fighters. Ukraine's own military is facing manpower shortages. Delays in U.S. and European support are making that worse. Russia knows this, and they're using the time to regroup and push harder. This isn't a sign of peace talks. It's a signal that Russia expects this war to drag on well into next year or longer. NATO countries are watching this closely. Leaders in Poland, Finland, and the Baltic states have already stepped up defense efforts. Some are calling for more U.S. troops in Europe. This draft isn't just about Ukraine. It's part of a broader pattern. Russia's been increasing military production, forming new units, and moving equipment toward the western border. Some analysts believe this could be early preparation for a wider conflict, or at least a show of strength aimed at deterring NATO involvement. It's also putting pressure on global supply chains again. More military demand means more competition for fuel, metals, and electronic components. That can spill over into civilian markets, especially in countries already dealing with inflation. For preppers, this draft is another warning sign. It shows that Russia isn't backing down, and the conflict may still escalate. We're not just talking about battlefield movements. This could lead to more sanctions, cyber attacks, trade disruptions, and energy instability, especially in Europe. That has a ripple effect on global markets. If tensions keep rising, expect more pressure on fuel prices, critical imports, and even food supply chains, depending on how far the conflict spreads. This call-up might seem like just another headline from a distant war, but moves like this have a way of shifting the world around us. Russia is digging in for a long fight, and that usually means more tension, more instability, and more chances for things to spill over in unexpected ways. We can't predict exactly where this leads, but we can pay attention and prepare for the knock-on effects, whether that's higher prices, supply issues, or a sudden crisis that drags other nations into the mess. Staying informed is part of staying prepared. If you found this update useful, hit the like button and subscribe for more news with a prepper's perspective. And let me know in the comments, do you think this is just about Ukraine, or is Russia getting ready for something bigger? Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay prepared.